on the list, I'm calling this the wind down sequence. So especially if you've been practicing all of this week's videos back to back, this is the perfect sequence to kind of balance you out and wind you down at the end of practice. So this can be something that you can do after you've been doing something more physically challenging in your yoga practice or any other practice, or you could also do this short sequence on your own. So let's come to what we call all fours or tabletop position on your mat. So what this basically means is hands and knees. So remember, I always like to stack my bones. So I'm going to plant my hands down so that my wrists are directly below my shoulders. I'm planting my palms down and spreading my fingers wide. So I'm keeping my hands nice and active here. We don't want to lift our knuckles up off the mat, just like when we're in down dog. We want to keep those underneath the knuckles, the pads at the base of the fingers. We want to keep those pressing down. And then at the same time, I want to have my knees lined up underneath my hips. And then if you look in between your knees, you see if you can see your feet. And if you can see your feet, maybe you see them in between your knees or you see them outside your knees, go ahead and line those feet up so that they're just behind the knees and you can't see them anymore. So this is our traditional tabletop position. And one of the things we want to think about here is what is pressing down to the ground. So I have 6 points, right? I have 2 hands, 2 knees, and 2 feet. So see if you can press down equally through all 6 points here, and that'll keep you nice and stable and nice and balanced. And now we'll come into a sequence called cat and cow. So we inhale, we kind of drop the belly, arch the spine, and look forward. This technically is called cow. Well, we don't need to get into the nuances of these animal names. And on the exhale, we'll pull the navel into the belly, tuck the hips around the spine, and drop the head. This would be cat. So inhale, we arch the spine, look forward, find a nice curve, nice arch here. And then exhale, round out the spine, tuck the hips, let the shoulders really round out, let the head drop. So keep moving back and forth, inhaling and exhaling at a nice pace for you, rounding and arching the spine. And this is just a great way to articulate the spine, loosen up the spine. This is a great wind down, and it's also a great warm up. So almost every single yoga class you take, you'll probably see this little short dynamic sequence. So a couple more rounds. Inhale, arching. Exhale, rounding out. Keep pressing down equally. Hands, knees, and feet. One more round. Good, and then come back to neutral spine so the spine is long, and just pause and breathe. Good, and then from here, we'll extend our bodies long on the mat. So coming down onto your belly, and then just rolling over onto your back. So roll onto the back. You can have the knees bent and the feet just planted down on the mat. The knees are about hip distance apart, just a comfortable place. The spine is long, the back of the head's on the mat. Let the shoulders be soft. Let the hands relax down by the sides. Good, so from here, we'll come into what we call Windshield Wipers. So we'll just let the knees fall to either side. Knees go to the right. Knees go to the left. And if you'd like to have the breath connect with the movement, you can think of it this way. So inhale, my knees lift up. Exhale, the knees fall to one side. Inhale, knees come up. Exhale, knees fall to one side. So in windshield wipers, many times I see people really trying to rush through these. So they just go back and forth. They're at the highest windshield wiper speed they can possibly be. But there's no need to rush, especially if we're following our breath, right? We want the breath to be smooth and slow and full. So take your time here. Let the hips rock side to side with the knees. We're trying to loosen up even more. We're loosening up into the hip joints. So let this movement feel like it's a soft, flowing movement. Couple more rounds. Inhale, knees come up towards center. Exhale, the knees fall to one side. Good, and then bring those knees back up to center. And just for a moment, we'll draw the thighs or the knees into the chest. You can wrap your hands around your shins or behind your thighs and just squeeze in. You can even draw your nose up towards your knees if you'd like, just rounding out the spine and the neck. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Good, and then release the shoulders, neck, and head back down and extend the legs long on the mat. So we'll finish off with our wind down sequence. We'll finish off with Shavasana, our resting pose or our corpse pose. So take a moment to allow the body to settle into a comfortable position. Typically, it's lying down on the back, arms relaxed down by the sides, legs are relaxed. I'm going to center myself on my mat. And a couple of times, if you want, you can turn your head from side to help loosen up the neck. And then just bring that head back to center. So feeling that the body is in one nice, long, straight line. And once you've found a pose where you can pause in stillness, allow the eyelids to close. And just sensing into the body. So notice how it feels first to just be lying down here. And a couple of times you can scan through the body. So scanning from the top of the head all the way down to the soles of your feet. And as you gently scan down, feel as though the body is slowly relaxing as your awareness travels down. So it's as though there are waves of relaxation washing over you as your awareness travels from the top of the head down to the soles of your feet. The awareness brings relaxation, gently washing over you. So a couple of more scans, a couple more waves of relaxation. Good, and then just let your awareness pause at your belly. So just feeling the breath in your belly. You can have your awareness centered on your navel and just notice how the navel gently rises and falls as you breathe. On the inhale, you feel the navel gently rising. On the exhale, you feel the navel gently falling. So allow your awareness to rest there on the navel, sensing the rise and fall of the navel with each breath. And anytime you feel the mind start to wander, just bring the focus back to the navel, bring the focus back to your breath. Inhale, navel rises. Exhale, navel falls. Good. So coming back into awareness of the entire body. And just check in with yourself. Notice how the body feels. Notice how this relaxation has settled in. And when you're ready, gently wiggling into fingers, toes, ankles, wrists. Eventually hugging those knees or those thighs back into your chest. And then rolling over to one side, pausing in a fetal position. Taking a few breaths. And then gently pressing your hands into the ground using your upper body strength to bring yourself back up to a seat. Allowing the eyes to remain closed if you can. And just find a comfortable seat. Allow those eyes to remain closed and just pause, sitting up tall with a long spine. And just take a few more breaths here. Notice how you feel. And when you're ready, gently fluttering open your eyes, bringing the space back into focus. Good. We'll see you for the next one. Namaste.